In the heart of South Africa, there's a place where very special young animals get a second chance at life. Here, people act as surrogate mothers to one of the world's largest and most intriguing creatures. It's a world of beautiful and curious relationships, where struggle and reward go hand in hand. Rhinos are among the world's most iconic and best-loved animals. Yet they face a terrible threat. Poaching has skyrocketed 9,000%, with an average of 3 rhinos killed every day in South Africa. As this crisis drives the species toward extinction, this is the story of those left behind. In the struggle to defeat rhino poaching, things have taken an unexpected and nasty turn.
We've always known, being here with rhinos, there's always that risk of poachers coming here. You think in your mind, okay, they're babies. They wouldn't go through all that trouble to come here just for that tiny amount of horn. But this proved us all wrong. We have lots of procedures in place that if something does go wrong, we press our panic button and we know the anti-poaching team will be here within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Luckily, this is just a drill. But just weeks ago, another orphanage faced the worst possible scenario.
Poachers hit this orphanage in Natal, in KwaZulu-Natal. They spent 5 hours there. They assaulted the staff. These were baby rhinos. 2 of them were killed, their horns taken. What's next?
Just to think of what those girls went through, the babies that you work with, to them be poached right there and you can't do anything about it. That's what's so hard as well.
Despite the trying times, new volunteers and staff have arrived to do what they can in the struggle to safeguard the future of rhinos. The extra help comes just in time, as poaching has been particularly bad recently.
Last week in South Africa, we had something like 17 poachings in 48 hours. It's just this spike in poaching that happened.
It was really hectic, it was really bad, and we were actually expecting a call. With that amount of rhinos poached, there's bound to be a calf with one of them. So just have to go through and make sure we've got everything we need.
Sure enough, the orphanage has received a call to collect a new calf and preparation begins.
Cotton wool is for earplugs if you need to do that. We normally make sure that we've got the vet box ready first. We go and check all the supplies for that in case we need to give her any medical attention on the way here. Then we'll check that the car is ready. So because she was so small, she's only between 3 and 4 weeks old, she's small enough to fit inside the back of our car. Okay, so I've got the permits ready for tomorrow. They got to come with us in the car so that if we get stopped, we've got the permits while we have a rhino. It's really exciting that we're getting this new little baby, but we've got to make sure we're completely prepared. We've got everything ready here for her arrival, and we're ready in the car with everything we need to collect her.
At 4 weeks old, a rhino calf would normally just be getting to grips with the world around it. With its 1.5-ton mother at its side, it could explore its environment without fear of the dangers that the bushveld hides. Even the mightiest predators are no match for a protective rhino with a formidable horn. To a calf, its mother is everything, from company and protection to a constant source of food. To some people, though, a rhino mother is just a horn waiting to be taken. Calves are loyal to the bitter end and sometimes interfere with poachers as they hack off a mother's horn. The results can be brutal, as poachers are not predisposed to gentleness. With everything fully prepped, Jamie and Steffi get an early start for the 3-hour drive to collect the rhino. Word has come that the calf has been stabbed by poachers, and it's an anxious journey for Jamie.
We were wondering what to expect when we saw her, just because we knew about the machete wounds. I've seen other wounds, and one of the rhinos was actually paralyzed from it and had to be euthanized. So immediately I was terrified to see what her wounds were going to look like.
The new calf is at an urban vet's office where it was dropped off. Soon enough, the team get their first look at her.
So yeah, when we saw her, her wounds were definitely not as bad as what I expected myself. Didn't hurt her back, she can walk fine, so that was really good to see actually. Her condition was good. She was a lot smaller than what I thought. She was tiny. She's just little and itty bitty.
Once the little rhino has been sedated, she's loaded into the back of the car.
Okay. Is there anything you want me to give to her when you get back?
And soon begins her journey to a new home. To ensure the young calf will have safe sanctuary when she arrives, the Rhino Orphanage relies on a highly trained anti-poaching unit.
My name is Tabang. I went there, the municipality, I saw the post as a learnership. So I say, let me try and find out what is anti-poaching. Then I started doing my researches about anti-poaching, what's going on. Then I took the opportunity and I applied for the learnership.
My name is Bruce Morris. I've been working here in Limpopo for about a year now, part of an anti-poaching unit here in Limpopo.
Bruce and Tabang put themselves in harm's way on a daily basis as they work to detect and deter poachers on the ground.
When you're in the bush, you have to concentrate on what they taught you, not making a lot of noise, moving carefully, making sure that everywhere you move, the movement there is known by you. Every morning you do the fence because it is the only way where the poachers can get in.
Control for Bravo 1.
Yeah, standing by.
Yeah, control, we got a single swerve, yeah?
Oh, well, when you find a footprint along the fence line or any kind of signs along the fence line that somebody's been through, we report it back to control, find out if they know any information, basically, like if anybody's been checking fence lines or maintaining fence lines.
Yeah, okay, you can cancel that spur. They were doing maintenance on the fence.
Alright, cover that, thank you.
If a footprint doesn't check out, it must be followed, even if it means crossing live electric fences.
In situations like that where you have to follow up on spoor and it does cross through a fence that is live, yeah, you've got no other option besides crossing through that fence.
While Bruce and Taban continue their fence check, the new calf is on its way to the orphanage. Things are going smoothly, but before long, the little rhino has a surprise in store.
He said he would like pass out for the next 3 hours, but we were like driving 10 minutes and she got up. So I was a bit of a stress situation. We were driving in the car, the rhino was standing in the back and was shaking a bit, and she was like a bit unstable because she was staying on the mattress, still a bit sedated. So we had to hold her so she wouldn't fall.
Before long, the calf lies down again and goes back to sleep. Her ordeal is almost over, but for the orphanage team, the job has yet to really begin. After an eventful drive, the Rhino Orphanage's latest arrival reaches her new home. With some teamwork, she gets safely to the room that will be hers for the months to come. After the trauma of her mother's death, her own injury, and the long journey to get here, the calf has finally found sanctuary. She will be called Jamila.
She wasn't too scared of anything. We were talking to her a lot. Yeah, it all went very well.
I relaxed her already. She had her first bottle of diaper because they were giving her the human milk. They said we must just start from scratch. So we'll do the normal diaper and then 25% milk.
There's just one crucial step left, drinking from the bottle.
So we always first start with diaper, which is just electrolytes, and then we slowly start introducing milk.
The artificial teat takes some getting used to. But Jamila gets the hang of it and guzzles down her meal. For the orphanage team, this is the beginning of an intense few weeks to come. For one new volunteer, Jamila's arrival is a reminder of the seriousness of the situation she's involved herself in.
I'm Maddie and I'm from Australia, Central Coast, which is 2 hours from Sydney. And I've always wanted to help in Africa, so I thought the best way I could do it would be to help with my favourite animal at an orphanage. With the 16 rhino being poached in the last few weeks when it was the full moon, it was quite made it very real being in South Africa and actually being a part of this solution to help save them. When we got Jamila as well, it made it even more real that, you know, she's now here because her mum got killed. It was very confronting, the fact that it's so close.
For volunteers like Maddie and Steffi, the poaching crisis has had a global impact. They've flown across the world to help rhinos. But sometimes an orphan comes along that isn't quite what they'd expected.
So Knox is our little bush baby, and somebody found him laying on the veranda. The mom was not around. We think he was like 3 days old, and they brought him here. Yeah, I was like very excited to have a bush baby, so they said, okay, you can take care of it. And from then on, I took him everywhere. He weighed 16 grams when he came in, so he was very tiny. We give him special milk, like it's a mix of, there's egg in it, there's sweet milk, and there's water protecting, so it's a kind of a mix made for the bush baby.
As with all the orphanage's creatures, Knox will be slowly rehabilitated and released, and he's reached an important step.
We have a tree here at the orphanage that produces a tree sap, and I wanted to like put him on the tree so he could like eat the tree sap from a tree, like the natural environment. And he was, in the beginning, he was a little bit scared. It was the first time he was like out on a tree. But then he got like used to it.
It's a tentative start, but one aspect of Knox's bush baby instinct is clearly intact. Urinating on his hands will allow him to spread his scent through the trees. His enormous eyes hint at his nocturnal nature. For Knox, the night is young. With the dawn of another day, the recently weaned trio of Kabelo, Kabira and Grace wake up in their new sleeping area.
Kabelo, Kabira and Grace, they now sleep in the big Boma, which is nice for them as well. It gives them space to move around during the night.
Just 6 months ago, these three were still vulnerable young calves.
They pick up weight at a rate of average about 1.4 kilos per day in the beginning, and then it does increase a little bit. It's ridiculous, the rate that they pick up weight.
A couple of weeks ago, Kabelo, Kabira and Grace didn't want to leave Jamie's side, but now they're almost completely independent.
They now go out in the morning all by themselves, so whoever's working staff member will literally just come in, open the gate, and they go out for the day. We don't interact with them at all anymore.
Kabelo, Kabira and Grace are making a smooth transition toward total independence. But for three younger rhinos, things are slightly more complicated. Before Jamila arrived, Nandi was the youngest rhino at the orphanage. She spent weeks without a rhino companion, but she now spends all her time with the slightly older duo of Neni and Tula. After a tough few months, things are looking up for Tula. The bullet wound that has plagued her since her mother was killed has finally begun to heal properly. She also lost her sight just weeks ago, but she's adapting well to life as a blind rhino, with the help of a companion and guide, Neni. With the addition of younger Nandi, Neni also now has a rhino that can play with them more than Tula can. It seems like a win-win situation, but the dynamics between the trio are complicated.
Neni can still be a little bit rough with Nandi, and because him and Tula have been together for so long, a lot of the time when we have two rhinos like that, they struggle to accept the third.
Neni is a little bit unpredictable with humans and rhinos, especially around his food. He can be aggressive around his food.
The new companionship is not ideal for Neni and Tula either.
Nandi's size is quite different to Tula and Neni's, which means that her rehab process and her rehab stages are behind Neni and Tula's. So Nandi's still getting milk every 3 hours, whereas Neni and Tula only get milk 4 times a day. And Neni and Tula can actually start staying out in the camp alone, whereas Nandi's still too young for that, so she's pulling them back slightly.
The team hopes that the arrival of the new calf Jamila may mean a more equal match for Nandi and the freedom to progress for Neni and Tula.
We really wanted another rhino closer to Nandi's age. It makes it so much easier, and then Nandi could go for walks with that rhino in a different area to Neni and Tula.
Before Nandi and Jamila can be paired up, Jamila must have a first checkup with the vet, Dr. Besta. First things first, and as with any baby, Jamila must be weighed before she sees the doctor.
We always try and weigh the young rhinos when they first come in. It gives us a baseline of how much milk to give them as well. 100 kilograms. Wow.
At just a month old, she already weighs as much as a heavyweight boxer.
Whenever we get a new arrival at the orphanage, a new calf, our vet, Dr. Besta, always comes around to check up on them, assess their condition, just see that everything's going smoothly.
Jamie's particularly concerned that Pia should check on Jamila's wounds and advise the best way of treating them.
The wounds were completely stitched closed, but he wanted us to be able to flush them out.
Oh, that's better. Oh, lekker.
He did take some of her stitches out, so yeah, now there's only a few stitches in the middle holding them together.
I'm happy with her weight and her body condition. She actually looks quite good.
With her health seen to, focus turns to her living arrangements.
Little Nandi doesn't fit in with those two. They're too big for her. But now Nandi looks quite big for her.
Yeah, I think it's a bit premature.
Okay.
Because they don't mingle with others until they're only about 2-3 months old.
Okay.
So.
It's disappointing news as Pia decides Nandi is too big to be put with Jamila.
I would have maybe thought about it if Nandi wasn't that boisterous. She's different to other rhinos. She's been like that since we got her. She might just bully this baby. So, yeah, she might not be ready for that. Rather safe than sorry.
For calves of Jamila's age in the wild, life consists exclusively of one-on-one time with their mothers. Cows and adolescents tend to spend their time in small groups, but pregnant mothers will seclude themselves to give birth. It's a few months before they bring their calves into contact with others. Until then, mother and calf are each other's only companions. Without a rhino to care for her, little Jamila will spend her formative months with her surrogates, with whom she's already formed a bond. For Maddie, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
You know, I was excited for Jamila to come because she was so small and I've never seen such a small rhino in my life. But I did feel a bit sad that it was actually happening. So Jamila is a really special kind of case because she's so young and, you know, she has the wounds on her back. So There's a lot that you have to sort of monitor with her, like, you need to make sure the wounds are fine, and she's so young that you need to make sure she feels as though you're always there. She's not alone. It is wonderful being that close to them, because not many people get to be that close to them and actually see them the way we get to see them. And we're very fortunate that way. She's starting to now figure out that play is actually a thing, and so she wants to start playing with us now. So, she's a bit cheeky, but when she's sleepy, she's adorable. She'll lie down next to you and have a snooze on your lap.
Thanks to the care and attention of her surrogate mothers, Jamila's long journey to rehabilitation has begun well. If all goes smoothly, she'll one day follow in the footsteps of those that have gone before. Just weeks ago, 2 rhinos were released from the orphanage on a huge patch of land.
Yeah, we're on our way and try to find Muffin and Laseri that was released the other day. We're going to that area, see how they're doing. What I've heard from the people from there, that they still haven't joined the other group of rhinos, but you never know. That can happen anytime. So we'll see what we can find there. Nice for me to see the 2 of them. Yeah, they look very good. They look well, they're healthy, they're fat, they look happy, they've adapted well. What I like about it is they're not coming up to the vehicle, so that's a good sign. For me, that's a good sign. A couple of months' time, when they come across people, they must get the hell out of there. So, no, it's looking good. But they look in very fine health.
Gone from the orphanage, but far from forgotten, the safety of their rhinos is always a concern for the orphanage team. For the anti-poaching unit, the struggle to guarantee that safety sometimes requires seeking out poachers in extended bush patrols.
Yeah, normally you can be there for a month, 2 months, 3 months. It goes by what is going on, what does the action going on there, how is the security there.
The unit travels light, and comfort is low on the list of priorities.
Camping is more like the survival of the fittest. You have to know that you'll starve. You have to know that you'll get a bite from ticks. You have to know that you are not alone. There are animals, dangerous animals, aggressive animals.
Lack of showering. That's probably the worst part of the job.
You always eat your food cold. There is no time to prepare as if it is at home. It is somewhere at the bush. It is some other place there. It's not like home so that you can prepare, make your food hot. They are always cold there.
Discomfort is a minor burden for the unit. They have far more serious concerns. In some places in the country, anti-poaching troops face gun battles as often as every second day.
It's a threat because nowadays poachers, they arm heavily. And they're not gonna stop. They're not gonna ask you questions. They'll just take your life. That's why I talk about the commitment of a life.
Bruce takes first watch. Constant vigilance is imperative. As evening sets in, there's no time to rest for the orphanage team either. Jamila needs constant care, and this means sleeping next to her. Tonight, Jamie and Steffi will share the responsibility.
They need that contact, they need that company. It's what they would get with their mothers out in the wild. So that's why we sleep with them.
And that's why we spend so much time with them as well. They would never be away from their mom at that age.
As Jamie settles in for the evening, Steffi and Maddie prepare milk in the kitchen.
Well, Jamila has to get milk every 2 hours, so, and then Nandi has to get it every 3 hours. So it's kind of sometimes Nandi's getting milk and Jamila's not getting milk, and then sometimes Jamila's getting milk and Nandi's not getting milk. So the hardest part is going to be getting up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock for those feeds. And then as well, you're half asleep and the feed in the middle is Nandi's feed. And so you need to make sure you're awake knowing whose feed it is that you're doing.
Very cute at night. She gets milk every 2 hours and she wakes up at like 15 minutes before feed, and then she starts sucking and nibbling on your arm because she's hungry and she cries.
I didn't want to go in earlier because there was the water.
Eventually, Steffi joins Jamie and she's brought a companion. Knox is getting more confident, but it's risky business hopping about around a 100-kilogram rhino when you're as small as he is. After everyone's been fed, it's time for bed.
She wants to sleep as close to us as possible, so she pretty much lies like on your lap.
Jamila must get a good night's rest. She doesn't know it, but tomorrow will be a big day for her. Today, Jamila has her first outing in the big Boma, a yardstick by which to measure her progress.
So yeah, she ran and she played a bit and she explored outside and she could smell the other rhinos. She would do that naturally with her mother. They'd walk and they'd smell another rhino's midden. So yeah, it's all going very well with her. When they're little, their feet are like out of proportion with their body. They have to still grow into them. So when they run, you see feet everywhere. And it's very cute.
Outside, Jamila's personality begins to shine through.
She seems a very independent rhino. There's a difference between her and Nandi. Nandi stayed right behind you, and everywhere you go she would follow. And Jamila is more I want to explore and see all the stuff around.
She's quite a brave little rhino, but every now and then she will then turn around and call to you to find you. So that's always very special when she does that, because she's actually looking for you.
With Jamila's Boma outing such a success, Jamie can look forward to taking some thoroughly deserved time off. She scheduled a trip home to Cape Town to see her family.
Last time I went home was December, so that's about 4 months ago. So I'm very excited to go home again. Haven't seen my family in 4 months. Haven't been home to relax there in 4 months. So yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm going home for 9 days, so it's nice, long enough time to just relax, do nothing.
So while I'm away, the rhinos will be looked after by all the other girls. They'll carry on. I've already made the schedule for them, so they'll just carry on working. They'll contact me if anything happens. If we get a calf in, I might have to come back up, but hopefully not.
With all in order, Jamie can head home. And she's not the only one getting some time off. The struggle against poaching has had far-reaching effects for South Africans from all spheres of society. While Jamie jets off to Cape Town, Thabang taxis home to the rural village where he grew up.
My dream when I was growing as a boy, I wanted to be in the army, a South African Army Force. I wanted to serve the country. This job I'm in now is more like saving the country in the other way.
I've got 9 children. Thabang is my first son. Thabang is doing very fine to keep bread on the table for all the children because he's the eldest of them all. I'm very much proud about his work. He used to go out with my goats. I've got goats here, some sheep and cattle. He was the man who was going to collect them and to protect them.
Yeah, this is our livestock. Actually, this is everything that my father is left with right now. Is his goats and sheep around here. So this is their shelter where they stay. Wherever I'm out there in the bush, like doing my everyday schedule, like I'm worried day by day because I have to think about what I left back at home. I'm worried about myself not being here to take care of them, but it's part of life.
While Thabang helps out at home, on the other side of the country, Jamie's enjoying the finer parts of city life.
It's nice to get away from the orphanage to try and like switch off for a while, but it's stressful just thinking about the babies that are there at the moment, especially when we've got really young babies like Jamila and Nandi who went through everything. When they're older, then it's nice to come here and take a break.
I had to do a lot of preparation just to make sure that the girls know exactly what needs to be done with flushing Jamila's wounds, making sure that her feeds are done in time, that they don't change any of the feeds, and the same with Nandi and all the other rhinos actually.
Not many people get to do, everybody believes you've got to do something to help the rhinos and our wildlife, but not many people actually then do something about it. And just paying donations, and that is great, obviously everybody needs that, but that's not going to solve the problem. I think trying to save the babies is huge. Yeah, and they rehabilitate a lot of them, go back into the bush. So that, it's a big thing, yeah.
We work so closely with these babies, and then to leave them, especially Jamila, she's so small and she's very new, and then to go and leave is always a stressful thing because, I trust the girls here completely, but I just, I want to be here for that.
A little bit from the danger side of things, not from the animals, but from poachers. Yeah, that's a big concern, but you've just got to let her live her life because that's her passion. Yeah. By day 5 when she's down in Cape Town, she's miserable.
Yeah. I'm not miserable. Jeez, Mom. I'm just ready to go
getting
back.
Ratty.
It's because of them. I'm actually planning to go to Honestapur to go study vet nursing. Just so, I'm busy studying now through UNISA, but I want to go to OP because they do more intense training.
And hands-on
training. And then, I'd love to go back to working with more variety and more endangered
endangered species, like for example, the pangolin is really high on my list for one of the animals I'd love to work with. And yeah, having my own place one day would be, that's the dream actually, that's the goal, is to get there, to open my own orphanage with everything in it.
I'll own it.
She thinks she's going to have lots of money.
I'll fund it, yeah.
Time at home has let Jamie plan for a future defined by her passion for conservation. It was that passion which brought her to the orphanage in the first place. For Thabang, the anti-poaching life was a welcome alternative to a life working underground, or not at all.
We got some mines here, the mining companies and the factories here, but here our land, South Africa, has got many people who are unemployed. The competition is difficult. People coming from underground, sometimes they can't see, they can't hear very well, and they have got TB. The bush is right, it's good environment and it's good for a living person. But as a South African, I'm proud of him to protect our nature and our nature reserves. So if they are going to the work, it's good for the country and it's good for the community and it's good for the family too. I want him to preserve and to protect the animals. It's a right call for me. It's like a national duty. It's like a soldier.
In a way, both Thabang and Jamie are living their dream. They may come from different backgrounds and opposite ends of the country, but without each of them, the Rhino Orphanage could not do its crucial work. Only through the dedication and cooperation of the people of South Africa can the war against rhino poaching be won.
It's terrible what people do to animals for money. Greed is a terrible thing. I've always had a lot of respect and a lot of time, a lot of love for rhino. They are a special species, and the thing is, the threat against them is so huge.
Over the last few months, the struggle to save and protect the future of the species has had its ups and downs. New bonds have been formed and old ones broken. The team has dealt with drama and adversity. In the end, the invaluable animals that call this place home have made steady progress toward the ultimate goal of growing old in the wild. As the orphanage team tackles the huge task of managing the rehabilitation, they look forward to the challenges that lie ahead.
You're never too old to learn and you never stop learning. That is the great thing about this. They have the most wonderful personalities. They are extremely intelligent. They are extremely clever. Every single person on this planet should throw all their weight in behind this whole drive to stop this idiocy of shooting rhinos for their horn. It cannot happen.
I've got passion for this kind of job. Everything I do out there has something to do about touching my heart.
Yeah, it gives me motivation a lot because this has to stop. It has to.
You know, we're saving all these individual rhinos, but what we ultimately want is for them to be able to grow up to adulthood and reproduce with other rhinos to keep the species going.
There's hope, of course there's hope. There's always hope. Otherwise, we wouldn't have done this.
Africa without rhinos would be terrible. You can't not have rhinos.